Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Phil, the ordinary watch guy. I'm very ordinary, but the watches are always special. This video is dedicated to that special time of year, the 31st of October, when the souls of the dead return to their homes to check out if the watches they handed down to their offspring are still being treated with love and respect. I don't mean to scare you or anything, but if your Uncle Graham left you a Rolex Daytona and you flipped it to go on a skiing holiday, I think you're f***ed, mate. Uncle Graham is coming for your ass. That's a Rolex call you don't want to get. Anyway, with due respect to this time of year, I want to drop this Halloween inspired video for you guys. And what's it all about? Well, this time we're talking about skeletons. No, not those skeletons, I mean skeleton watches. That's pretty Halloween, right? See what I did there? Skeleton watches. Skeleton watches. So, I've picked out 5 great skeleton watches to have a little look at today, and the funny thing is that unlike P. Diddy, I have no skeletons in my closet at all.
Oh wait, no wait, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he?
Anyway, let's hold hands, take a deep breath, and venture into the spooky world of skeleton watches. The first watch that I want to throw into the mix is the Union Belisar Chronograph Moonphase. I've made my feelings known on Union Glashutte before. I think it's a watch brand that so many people are sleeping on because of the fact that it's not officially over here in the UK yet. I just wish that they were readily available in more countries and more regions. This is a watch that should be over here in the UK. Now, this isn't just a skeleton, it's a monster as well. 44mm on the dial is a big boy, and in addition it's 15.4mm thick. So this is a chunk of watch right here. I have to break out the old chunkometer to give you a comparison. While this is going to be off-putting to the smaller wristed viewer, I have to get on to what I do love about this watch. First of all, the UNG 25 or 25.S1 in-house movement made in Glashutte, Germany. It's a chrono with 65 hours of power reserve, silicone balance spring, and it's hitting you up with a day, date, month, and moon phase display, which is really great this time of year if you're a werewolf, while also giving you a 30 minutes and 12-hour counter, plus of course the push button stopwatch mechanism. This watch has got a lot going on. It also has water resistance to 100 meters too. You have hands that resemble blades, you have a needle-like seconds hand, and then you have the date indicator that runs around the circumference track with the crescent moon, all set on a fine mesh background that semi-obscures the movement workings within. I think this is a special watch, and if it was coming out of GShock, you'd be talking 30 grand. You can find this in the secondary market, and you'll have to because you can't buy it new in the UK, for £2,584 plus VAT, or roughly £3,100. If anyone should be scared this Halloween, it's anyone offering skeletonized chronographs at this price or above. The second of my demonic offerings this evening of All Hallows is straight from another of my favourites. It's Oris with the big Crown Pro Pilot Excalibur 115. One thing that I have learned is that these skeletonized watches like long names. They do. They like long names. And this, my spooky friends, is one hell of a watch. This is also another large watch. Starting to see a bit of a theme coming through with skeletonized watches. Another 44mm offering. And this one doesn't tell you the date, the month. It has no 30-minute counter. But what it does have is a quite incredible 10 days of power reserve. Yes, 10. It's powered from the oversized mainspring coil barrel, and as you turn the crown, you can visibly see the mainspring tighten, which is pretty cool. You also get a small second complication, and the ultra futuristic kind of robot come steampunk vibe is met with the titanium build and that watch bracelet that is unique to the ProPilot X range, that kind of resembles the armor plating of some kind of a reptile. Is pretty cool. It's a really great combination. This is such a good watch. This is a great looking watch that is topped off by electric blue lume on the hands and the hour markers. Now, secondary prices fall as low as £3,000 plus VAT for very good examples. This is one of the best watches that Oris do, right at the top end of their offer, and they are a fine independent watchmaker with incredibly good credentials. The mechanism is entirely in-house, the caliber 115, which is absolutely superb. Oris modestly describe it as a masterpiece in contemporary watchmaking. Go Oris. Not many people are arguing, because it's actually pretty damn good. Up third is Rolex. No, only kidding. Rolex don't make innovative skeletonized watches, they just make money. Sorry, up third is Bell & Ross with the BR03. Now, I've never mentioned Bell & Ross before, but this is a blacked out 42mm piece in ceramic. It has sapphire crystal to the front and to the back on a black rubber strap. I quibble with the provision of a pin buckle fastening on the strap. At £12,200, I want to see a clasp on there. That's just me. This being said, we're not talking about a watch that is here to shake up functional expectations with a plethora of complications or a 10-day power reserve. In fact, the power reserve is a modest 48 hours. This watch is all about the looks. Even the Superluminova is green to complement the Halloween style skeletonized appearance. This is 100% form over function. It's not easy to read. It's not very practical. The water resistance is just 50 meters, so basically don't even splash it. And it's pretty pricey, but it's not as pricey as the Bell & Ross Cyber Skull. At £103,000, yes, you heard me right, this is a 25-piece limited edition which has an all sapphire case, and it looks really, really shit. The money has really been invested well, because the jaws of the skull open and close and appear to snigger when the watch is being wound, like a pair of those cheap chattery teeth that you might get in a Christmas cracker or something. The skull inside the sapphire case is blue anodized steel, and I don't know what's more terrifying, the overall aesthetic of the watch or the idea of somebody dropping A Lange Sohne money on a limited edition Bell & Ross. You'll have to make up your own mind. That's a Halloween nightmare right there. So at fourth place, why don't we do it? Why don't we just do it? Let's go for it. Let's take this spooky skeleton ride to A Lange Sohne in Glashutte. Making the Bell & Ross look practical and affordable, A Lange are going to wade into this offer with the Datographed Perpetual Tourbillon Honey Gold Lumen. Now again, as I say, skeleton watches love a long name, generally speaking, apart from the Bell & Ross. Long names and skeleton watches go together. As names go, doesn't roll off the tongue, but if you say it backwards over a Ouija board, it has been said that the ghost of a German watchmaker arrives to kick you in the testicles. Oh, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'll be fine, honestly, I'll be fine. This incredible watch is definitely the most haunting of the offers from the great watchmaker A Lange Sohne. It's limited to just 50 pieces, and was rumoured to be sold at £500,000 per piece, which is a really tidy way to make £25 million in revenue. I've got no idea if that limited edition run is all sold out. I imagine it is. It must be, right? It must be sold out. The dial is a ghostly, semi-opaque affair, and the loom is green. Seriously, guys, A Lange Sohne, tell me you love Halloween without telling me you love Halloween. Okay, we know you do. Like the really scary characters in all good horror movies, by day, this is a very conservative and traditional looking offer. Circular case, special honey gold presentation, which is a unique gold that belongs to A Lange and offers a harder metal with the same beautiful presentation. It's 41mm diameter, it's 14.6mm thick. The case back is nothing less than incredible, and it's inscribed whichever one of the 50 it is in the collection. So this has got that whole Jekyll and Hyde thing going right there. 57 jewels, including a diamond, 50 hours of power reserve, assembled and finished entirely by hand. The time is presented in hours, minutes and seconds. It has a tourbillon with stop seconds. It is a flyback chronograph, tachyscale 2, perpetual calendar with date, day, month, leap year, day, night indicator, and of course, a moon phase. It is Halloween after all. This is a special watch. It just happens to be a bit spooky and incredibly unaffordable. The final of tonight's 5 riders of the financial apocalypse is from the world's best antidote to financial exclusion, Casio GShock. People sometimes ask, why is Casio God tier? But why though? Well, this is why. A Casio GA 2100 SKE, I'm not finished, 7AER, or the equally skeleton-like GA 2140 RX, still not finished, 7AER. The two of them are turning up on you like the ghosts of Marley and Marley from the Muppet interpretation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. That's not a knock, by the way. The Muppet interpretation of that, Charles Dickens, is probably the best version out there. Personally, I prefer the latter of the two. With the see-through and carbon case and plastic strap, this watch is possibly giving a bit more ghost than skeleton, but either way is definitely a Halloween vibe. If this watch is a skeleton, these are the skeletons for some ridiculous horror movie that are going to destroy everything and nothing can stop them. I don't know what I can possibly say that hasn't already been said about the standard G-Shock. They're massive at 48mm across, and they're virtually indestructible. 200 meters of water resistance, semi-digital, semi-analog, highly accurate, just a beater in the very best way. You're really not ever going to look down and say, oh no, I knocked my G-Shock on the edge of my desk. And if you're not particularly feeling the Halloween vibe, you can get them in pretty much every colour known to man, and via third parties that customise them, or even watch tutorials on YouTube about how to buy your own parts and customise your own. I love my G-Shock. It's the cheapest watch that I own, but if I really want to be carefree about what I've got on my wrist, that's the watch that I go to every time. In fact, my one is the simple black version, and it has its own spooky credentials going on. I don't know if you're even a watch collector if you don't have a G-Shock yet, and I can't say that about many iconic classics, to be honest, and certainly not for around £90. This definitely looks better than the Bell & Ross, and you have enough change to treat yourself to a GShock LeCoultre and a new car. Okay then guys, if I haven't just killed my channel for a Halloween special, which would be amazingly appropriate actually, that's my take on 5 not at all randomly selected skeletonized watches at a range of price points. If you're inclined to want that look, expect to need a bigger wrist. It does seem that skeletonized is a style for the thicker watch collector. And when I say thicker, sometimes you have to be so thick that you'd part with 100 grand for a limited edition Bell & Ross. Remember guys, I'm only joking. I love the diversity of watch collecting, and if we all liked the same thing, we'd all just be wearing Rolex Submariners and nobody would be able to buy them at MSRP. I hope you're loving your watches this fantastic Halloween. Thank you for watching this video. I've got some cool stuff in the pipeline for you, including my visit to London and the watch boutiques of Old and New Bond Street, where we'll be getting some awesome content from IWC Schaffhausen, and I'm going to be challenging my prejudices by visiting, wait for it, Hublot. And then I'll be retreating back to the safety of the Longines boutique and a place that I've wanted to visit for a very long time, Watches of Mayfair. So make sure you like and subscribe to stay in touch with all that. Let me know in the comments if there's somewhere in London that you'd really like me to visit. Have a great Halloween. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.